Okay, so we ended up at stage 6, paragraph page 454. Okay, and our
Mm,
last headword was friendship, new word type of lesson.
mm.
Okay, so let's start with revision. Ready?
Okay.
Here we go. First question. What do we do with the word will when we change direct speech into indirect speech? What do we do with the word will when we change direct speech into indirect speech? When we change
When we
direct
change
speech
direct speech
into
to
indirect
into
speech,
indirect
we
speech,
change the word
we
will
change the word
to
will
would.
to would.
Very good. Give me an example. Give me an example, please. She said
He
that
said
John would
that
go
John
to London
would go to
next
London
year.
next year.
Very good. Okay, now I will make some statements and I want you to tell me what I said using indirect speech, okay?
Okay.
Okay, first one. I swim every day. I swim every day. You said that.
You said
You
that
swam every
you
day.
swam every day.
She is speaking to you. She is speaking to you. You said that.
You said that
She was speaking
she
to me.
was speaking to me.
Very good. I have just taken the pen from the table. I have just taken the pen from the table. You said that.
You said that
You had just
you
taken
had
the
just
pen
taken the
from
pen
the table.
from the table.
Very good. I think I will go to London tomorrow. I think I will go to London tomorrow. You said that.
You said that
You
you
thought
would
you
you
thought
thought
you
you
would
thought
go to
you would
London
go to London
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Very good. They had books in their hands when they came into the room. They had books in their hands when they came into the room. What did I say? You said that.
You said
They
that
had books
they
in
had
their
books
hands
in their
when they
hand
came
when they
into
came
the room.
into the room.
Where I ate too much for dinner. I ate too much for dinner. What did I say? You said that.
You said
You
that
had
you
eaten too
had
much
eaten too
for
much
dinner.
for dinner.
Very good. Okay, do we use inverted commas for indirect speech? Do we use inverted commas for indirect speech? No, we don't
No,
use
we don't
inverted
use
commas
inverted
for
commas
indirect
for
speech.
indirect speech.
Very good. Is it generally necessary to use the word that when we use indirect speech? Is it generally necessary to use the word that when we use indirect speech? No, it
No,
isn't
it
generally
isn't
necessary
generally
to
necessary
use
to
the word
use
that
the word
when
that
we use
when we use
indirect speech.
indirect speech.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. He said
He
that the
said
room was
that
large.
the room was large,
Or he said
or he
the
said
room was
the
large.
room was large.
Very good. Okay, did people in the old days believe the world was round? Did people in the old days believe the world was round? No.
No,
People in the
people
old
in
days
the old
didn't
days
believe
didn't
the
believe
world was
the
round.
world was
They
round.
believed
They
it
believed
was flat.
that it's flat.
It was flat.
It was flat.
Ragged, which is one of the flattest part of your country? Which is one of the flattest part of your country? One of the
One
flattest
of
part
the flattest
of
part
my
of
country
my country
is
is Kyoto.
Kyoto. Very good. Okay. Would you think it was a great pity if you went for a picnic in the country and it rained? Would you think it was a great pity if you went for a picnic in the country and it rained? Yes, I think
Yes,
it
I
was
think
a great
it
pity
was a great
if
pity
I went for
if
a
I
picnic.
went for if
For
I
a
went
picnic.
for pity
What? For a picnic
for a picnic
in the country
in the
and
country
it rained.
and it rained.
Well, what kind of people do you pity most? What kind of people do you pity most? I pity
I pity
the sick people
sick people
the most.
in
The most.
the most.
Very good. Okay. What are the three forms of blow? What are the three forms of blow? The three
The
forms
three
of
forms
blow.
of throw
Blow
is blow
are
is
blow, blew,
are blow
blown.
blue blown.
Very good. Have you ever been blown off your feet by the wind? Have you ever been blown off your feet by the wind? Yes or no?
Yes,
I've been blown.
I've been blown.
I've been blown
I've been blown
off
to
my feet
over my
by
feet
the wind.
by the wind.
Very good. Okay. What do you consider to be the best occupation in the world? What do you consider to be the best occupation in the world? I consider
I
my
consider
occupation
my
to
occupation
be the
in,
best
to be the
occupation
best
in
occupation
the world.
in the world.
Very good. Why must we consider carefully before making an important decision? Why must we consider carefully before making an important decision? We must
We
consider
must
carefully
consider carefully
before making
before
an
making
important
an
decision,
important decision.
because if we
Because
don't
if we don't
consider carefully,
consider carefully,
we might make
we might
a
make
big mistake.
a big mistake.
Very good. What's the difference between the words what and whatever? What's the difference between the words what and whatever? The difference
The
between
difference
the
between
words
the
what
words
and
what
whatever
and
is
whatever
that we
is that
use
we
the word
use
what
the words what
in a limited
in a
sense,
limited sense,
whereas we
whereas
use
we
the
use
word
the word
whatever
whatever
in a more
in
unlimited
a
sense.
more unlimited sense.
Right? If you could buy whatever you wanted, what would you buy? If you could buy whatever you wanted, what would you buy? If I could buy
If I could buy
whatever I wanted,
whatever I wanted,
I'd buy a
I'd buy a new house.
new house. Very good. Can you go for a holiday whenever you like? Can you go for a holiday whenever you like? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
can go
I
for a
can go
holiday
on holiday when
whenever I like.
wherever I like
Very good. Why? Why? Because I
because
have
I
control
have control
with my schedule.
with my schedule.
Very good. If you could go wherever you like in the world, where'd you go? If you could go wherever you like in the world, where'd you go? If I could go
If I could
wherever
go
I like
wherever I
in
like
the world,
in the
I'd
world,
go to.
I go to North Pole.
Very good. If you if you could meet whoever you wanted in the world, who would you prefer to meet? If you could meet whoever you wanted in the world, who would you prefer to meet? If I could meet
If I could meet
whoever I wanted
whoever I
in the
wanted
world,
in the world,
I'd like to meet
I'd like to meet Santa Claus.
who?
Uh,
Who would you like to meet?
who
Like famous
like
artist Tom Cruise or Mr. Kishida or Shohei Otani,
Shohei Ohtani.
Kenta Momota.
Can
Okay, okay. You know Kenta, the champion badminton player of Japan.
ah
Yeah, very good. He won another title. Okay, very good.
uh,
Okay, next. Do you always tell the truth? Do you always tell the truth? Yes or no?
no,
I
I
don't always
I
tell the
don't
truth.
always tell the truth.
Sometimes I tell
Sometimes
lies.
I tell lies
Why? Why? Because
because
it's sometimes
it's
necessary
sometimes
to
necessary
tell lies
to tell
in
lies
order
in
not to
order
be unpleasant.
not to be unpleasant.
Where the newspapers always tell the truth. Do newspapers always tell the truth? No.
No,
Newspapers
newspaper
don't always
don't
tell the
always
truth.
tell the truth.
Sometimes they tell
Sometimes
lies.
they tell lies.
Do they why do they sometimes tell lies? Why do they sometimes tell lies? They sometimes
They
tell
sometimes
lies
tell
because
lies because
they don't have
we, they
time
don't have time
to check
to
that
check
everything
that
is true.
everything is true.
Very good. Okay, next. What's the opposite of the verb to catch? What's the opposite of the verb to catch? The opposite
The
of the
opposite
verb
of
to
the
catch
verb to catch
is to miss.
is to miss.
If I threw my pen to you, do you think you'd catch it or you'd miss it? If I threw my pen to you, do you think you'd catch it or miss it? If you threw
If you
your
threw
pen to me,
your pen to me,
I think
I
I'd.
I think I catch it.
Very good. Are you in the habit of missing trains and buses? Are you in the habit of missing trains and buses? Yes or no?
Yes,
I'm in the habit
I'm in the
of
habit
missing
of
trains
missing trains
and buses.
and buses
Why? Why? Because I
because
always
I
leave
I always leave
everything to the last
everything
minute
to the last minute
and then
and
have
then
to hurry.
have to hurry.
Very good. How long do you have to be away from home before you begin to miss your family and friends? How long do you have to be away from home before you begin to miss your family and friends? I have to be
I have to be
away from home
away from
for
home
about
for about 1 month
1 month before I begin
before I begin
to miss my
to
family
miss my
and
family
friends.
and friends.
Did you miss the last lesson? Did you miss the last lesson? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
didn't
didn't
miss the last
miss
lesson.
the last lesson.
Very good. Okay, do you think that a union of all the countries in Europe will ever be possible? Do you think that the union of all the countries in Europe will ever be possible? Yes or no?
No,
I
I,
don't
I
think
don't I
that
don't
a
think
union
that a
of
union
all the
of all
countries
the
in the
countries
world,
in the world, Europe
in Europe,
and
will one
Europe
day
will
be
one day
possible.
be possible.
Regard, what's a trade union? What's a trade union? A trade union
A trade
is
union
an
is
organization
an organization
composed of workers
composed of workers
from a particular industry.
from a particular industry.
It protects
It protects
the
with
workers
the
and
workers
fights to
and
improve
fights to
their
improve
pay and
their pay
conditions.
and conditions.
Are you in favor of trade unions? Are you in favor of trade unions? Yes or no?
No, I
I'm not in
am
favor
not in
of
favor
trade
of
unions.
trade unions.
Very good. What can we use rope for? What can we use rope for? We can use rope
We can use
for
law
climbing
for
mountains,
climbing
pulling
mountains,
things,
pulling things,
etc.
etc.
Very good. What did you see if you climb the stairs to the top of your building? What did you see if you climb the stairs to the top of your building? If I climb the
If I
stairs
climb the
to the
stairs
top of
to the
my
top of
building,
my building,
I'd see.
I'd see other buildings.
Very good. Is it easy to climb to the top of the music industry and stay there? Is it easy to climb to the top of the music industry and stay there? No, it
No,
isn't
it
easy
isn't
to
easy
climb to the
to
top
climb to the top
of the music
of the
industry
music
and
industry
stay there.
and stay there.
It's difficult.
It's difficult.
But if you lost your keys, where would you look for them first? If you lost your keys, where would you look for them first? If I lost
If
my
I
keys,
lost my keys,
I'd look for
I,
them
I look for them
in my
in my pocket.
purse, in my
My
pocket
purse.
first. Very good.
Pocket purse.
Where do people go when they are looking for justice? Where do people go when they are looking for justice? People go
People
to the
go
law
to
courts
the
when they are
locals when
looking
they are
for
looking
justice.
for justice.
Regid, would you like the job of a judge? Would you like the job of a judge? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
wouldn't
wouldn't.
like
I wouldn't
the
like
job of a
the
judge.
job of a judge.
Very good. How do we form verbs from certain adjectives or nouns? How do we form verbs from certain adjectives or nouns? We form
We
verbs
form
from
verbs
certain
from
adjectives
certain
or nouns
adjectives
by
or
adding
nouns
the
by
letters
adding the
en.
letters en.
Right? Give me some examples. Give me some examples, please. Dark, darken,
Dark, darken,
short, shorten,
short, shorten,
etc.
etc.
Very good. What does the verb to darken mean? What does the verb to darken mean? The verb
The
to
verb
darken
to
means
darken
to
means
make darker
to make
or
darker
to get darker.
or to get darker.
If our trousers are too long, what must we do to them? If our trousers are too long, what must we do to them? If our
If
trousers
our
are too
trousers
long,
are too
we
long,
must shorten
we
them.
must shorten them.
Very good. Do the days lengthen or shorten as we go towards summer? Do the days lengthen or shorten as we go towards summer? The days lengthen as
The
we
days
go
lengthen as we go
towards summer.
towards summer.
Very good. Do you think sport can strengthen the friendship between different countries? Do you think sport can strengthen the friendship between different countries? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think
I,
sport
I think
can
sport
strengthen the
can
friendship
strengthen the friendship
between different countries.
between different countries.
Very good. How many syllables must an adjective or noun have in order for us to form a verb from it? How many syllables must an adjective or noun have in order for us to form a verb from it? An adjective
An
or noun
adjective or
must
noun
have only
must have
one
only
syllable
one
in
syllable
order for us
in order for
to
us
form a
to
verb from
form
it.
a verb from it.
Regard, can we form verbs from all adjectives and nouns of one syllable? Can we form verbs from all adjectives and nouns of one syllable? No, we can't
No,
form
we can't
verbs
form verbs
from all
from
adjectives
all
and
adjectives
nouns
and
of
nouns
one syllable.
of one syllable.
Give me an example of a one syllable adjective from which we can't form a verb. Give me an example of a one syllable adjective from which we can form a verb, please. An example
An
of a
example
one
of a
syllable
one
adjective
syllable adjective
from which we
from
can't
which
form a
we
verb
can form a verb
is small.
is small.
Very good. And that's the end of our revision. Let's have a
Okay,
word. Very good. Okay. So let's start. Repeat. Obvious.
obvious.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word obvious is an adjective. It means very clear or easy to notice or easy to understand. For example, small children say they aren't tired when they obviously are because they don't want to go to bed. Hmm, let's practice. Give me a sentence with the word obvious. Give me a sentence with the word obvious, please. It is obvious
It is
from
obvious
what he says
from what he
that
said
he is not
that he
interested
is not
in the
interested
job.
in the job.
Do small children sometimes say they aren't tired when they obviously are? Do small children sometimes say they aren't tired when they obviously are? Yes, small
Yes,
children
smaller
sometimes
children
say
sometimes
they
say
aren't tired
they aren't
when
tired
they obviously
when they
are.
obviously are
Why? Why? Because they don't
because
want
they
to
don't
go to bed,
want to go to bed,
etc.
etc.
Very good. Next, repeat. Ache,
Ache,
toothache,
toothache,
stomach ache,
stomach ache,
earache,
earache,
headache.
headache.
Very good. Okay, listen. An ache is a continuous physical pain such as toothache, headache, stomach ache, earache, etc. Let's practice. What is an ache? What is an ache? An ache
An ache
is a
is
continuous
a continuous
physical pain,
physical pain,
physical pain,
physical pain,
such as toothache,
such as toothache,
headache,
headache,
stomach ache,
stomach ache,
earache, etc.
earache, etc.
Very good. What might you get if you eat too much? What might you get if you eat too much? I might
If
get
I might get
stomach ache
stomach
if
ache
I ate too
if
much.
I ate too much.
Very good. Where should you go if you get toothache? Where should you go if you get toothache? I should go
I
to
should
the
go
dentist
to the
if
dentist
I get
if I
toothache.
get toothache.
What kind of things give you a headache? What kind of things give you a headache? The kind of
The
things
kind of
that
things
give me a
that give
headache
me a headache
are noise,
are
too
noise,
much work,
too much
hot
work,
weather,
hot weather,
etc.
etc.
Very good. Next, repeat. Rule.
Read,
Rule.
rule,
Confuse.
confuse.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word rule can be a verb or a noun. As a verb, it means to control and have power over a country, area, group, etc. For example, some countries are ruled by a king or queen. As a noun, it means an official instruction that says how things should be done or what is allowed. For example, when we play football, we need to understand and follow the rules of the game. Confuse is a verb. It means to make something difficult to understand. For example, the rules of English grammar sometimes confuse me. Let's practice. Who was the last person to rule your country? Who was the last person to rule your country? Mr.
The Mr. Who?
Before Kishida.
Kishida.
Mr.
Mr. Kishida.
No, not before Kishida. So Mr. Abe,
Uh, yes, Mr. Abe.
and then
And
I forget
Mr.
the other one.
Abe, Mr. Khan,
Uh-huh. The other one
Mr. Khan,
after
Mr.
oh I forgot his name. But let's just say Mr. Kishida
Mr.
was
Kishida
the last person
was the last person
to rule my country.
to rule my country.
Very good. Okay, do you understand the rules of football? Do you understand the rules of football? Yes or no?
No, I
I
don't
don't
understand
understand the rules of
the
football.
rules of football.
Do the rules of English grammar sometimes confuse you? Do the rules of English grammar sometimes confuse you? Yes, the
Yes,
rules of
the
English
rules of
grammar
English grammar
sometimes confuse me.
sometimes confuse me.
Do you find computers confusing? Do you find computers confusing? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
find
find
computers
computers
confusing.
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 Would you be confused if I suddenly walk out of the room for no reason and didn't come back? Would you be confused if I suddenly walk out of the room and didn't come back? Yes or no? Yes,
Yes.
I'd be confused
I'd be confused
if you suddenly
if you
walk
suddenly
out of the
walk
room
out of the room
with and didn't come
with
back
and didn't come back
for no reason.
for no reason.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading.
Okay.
Very good. So our reading is at stage 5 and we are at page 340. Last headword was first name. Okay, start with headword actor, actress, famous film star.
Okay. Okay. Actress, famous film star.
Mhm.
Would you like to be famous? No, I wouldn't like to be